I'm alive, guys. It's been how long? 6 months since my last video, and it's been pretty rough 6 months, I would say. Ever since the seasons started to change and winter came along, the winters up here are very brutal. It's 65 degrees right now, though, thankfully, and the seasons are starting to finally change and get warmer instead of negative 30 degrees. Jesus Christ, yeah, it's a struggle surviving the winters. I honestly, my goal is to hopefully sooner rather than later move to a place that's warmer, like somewhere down south, that's cheaper to live and just overall much better climate. Because as much as I like it up here when it's actually good weather and I could hike up the mountain and just enjoy life, enjoy nature, for 3, 4 months out of the year though, I am absolutely miserable. Like I'd say from December until now, it's been a struggle. I'm just gonna say that. So I think honestly, I'm already noticing a little bit of an improvement in my mental state despite all the problems I have going on. Just the changing of the seasons, the weather getting warmer, the sun coming out, the days being longer, does a whole lot to improve your mental state. And a lot of it is just it's physical, like all the chemicals that come into you when you're out there in the nice weather. And just seeing sunlight, it makes a huge difference. And I noticed that difference. Everyone seems to be a lot more depressed and in a bad mood in the winter. Obviously, if you live in like Florida, you don't really notice that all that much. For you guys, winter is what, like 50 degrees? But yeah, I'm just really, you know, you got to appreciate the little things in life sometimes. And right now, it's the warm weather and the birds singing and the trees and everything. And it's weird because it's still a lot of snow, but I'm up in the mountains. So that's kind of why, like, it takes a really long time for the snow to melt, but the weather's actually been pretty damn good. It's going to be 70 degrees in a couple days. I think it's going to be 60 tomorrow. And just going to stay like in the 50s at least. And, 50 like in September is cold as hell, but in March, I love it, and when it's especially when it's 60 and above. Honestly, the perfect weather for me is definitely, like, 70 degrees, sunny, no wind. That's, like, peak, in my opinion. Like, I don't like it when it gets too warmer, like, 75 is alright, but once it gets to 80 and above, it's just so, like, the sweat just comes out of you and you feel disgusting, and it's like, ugh, you know? But, honestly, I'd rather still take 95-degree weather over 20-degree weather any day. Because especially here, the heating bills, the oil bills are like insanely high during the winter. But in the summer, I don't really have too much energy bills. Even the electric bill's not too bad. I mean, they just increase it, of course, because, these fucking companies are greedy as hell and they don't give a shit about people like needing to survive. So they'll just raise it like 70, $80 a month just for, out of nowhere. And that's something that's been happening lately. That's, yeah, just paying bills and staying afloat and all that kind of stuff has been tough. I think it's been tough for a lot of people lately though. But at least in the summertime, I don't have to run an air conditioner because it gets really cool here at night in the summer. It could actually be like in the mid 40s, which sounds horrible, but when you're inside and the house, it cools down and you don't need an AC. And so it's great. Like from I'd say like April until September to mid-October, like that time period, it's like the best to be here. It really is. And the nature and everything, I love it so much. I've been struggling a lot, like just being out there and just hiking and being more active outdoors because for my last video talking about my dog passing away, and that's been really tough on me. I've been really struggling with that because that was our thing. Like every time I went outside, it was with her. We'd go hiking up the mountain for 1 hour, sometimes 2 hours every single day when it was nice out. And we'd go all the way up the mountain, right where I'm at right now, the end of the property line. And yeah, walking this entire time, it took me about 45 minutes, an hour to hike all the way up here. And walking the entire time, I was just thinking about my dog and how it sucks that she's not here anymore. So that was a huge struggle because that dog was literally my best friend and I loved her to death. And I just feel horrible not having her with me anymore. But at the same time, it sounds stupid, but I would think the dog would want me to move on and to enjoy nature and enjoy life like I should. You know, it's stupid because the dog doesn't really think on that high of a level, and the dog's gone. But you know what I mean? Like, I feel like if she could see me right now, and if she could communicate with me and talk to me, I think she would tell me like, "It's okay. You can, you know, keep going without me, and it's all okay." But man, I still haven't gotten another dog since then. It's I've lived like almost my entire life with an animal, like with a pet. I had my first dog since before I was born. My family got him before that. And then I got a second dog, a bulldog, when I was 7 years old. And then there was like maybe like a 1 year period between my second dog dying and me getting Molly, my last dog, the one that just passed away in August. And I don't know. I don't really want another dog. Like, I don't feel like I need to replace her or that I should replace her. It's just not something I really want to do. And I don't know if I really have the energy anymore to really take care of one. So that's something I've also been thinking a lot about. But overall, I'm just trying to survive, trying to improve my situation so that eventually I'll live the life that I want to live. Things are not ideal right now. Working the job that I work, it's not fulfilling and it's not a good job. I mean, it's it could be worse. It could be so much worse, and that's why I've still been there for the past 4 years. But it's like I hate being there. I really do, and I want to get out. It's the night shift, so it really does take a toll mentally, especially as the weather gets warmer, honestly. Sometimes that fucks with my mental state is like in the middle of the day, I have to go to sleep so I can go to work later that night. I'm off today, so I'm in a little bit of a better mood than usual. But yeah, I mean, I try to at least get out there before I go to bed. I don't go to bed until like 12, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but it's so I have like enough time to at least be out there and enjoy nature. Still though, it's I don't feel like a normal person. I don't feel like a like a human being most of my life. Most of the time that I'm uh like for the past 4 years, I've just felt like shit ever since my well, ever since the pandemic really is when things really started to take a turn for the worse. I've had struggles before that, a lot of struggles before that, but once 2020 came, it's just been kind of like a downward spiral ever since. But I'm hoping that a year from now, I'll be looking back at this and if I'm not at very least where I want to be, I'm at least a hell of a lot closer to where I want to be, if that makes any sense, making progress because I feel like I've made a lot of progress, a lot of personal growth and development, and just trying to achieve my financial goals and everything else, even though I'm nowhere close to where I want to be in life. I think if I looked back 2 years ago and see where I am right now, I would probably still be disappointed, honestly, but at least I'd feel like, you did change for the better, at least a little bit. So I'm just gonna leave it there for today. Um, Glad to be back on this channel. I know it's been a very long time. I hope to post more content more frequently. It's a lot easier and a lot better once when the weather's normal and better. I know I could film content indoors, obviously, but it's just nicer, like taking in the sunlight and the nature and just talking about life. It feels a lot better doing it that way. So yeah, let me know in the comments how you guys are doing and how the past couple months have been for all of you, and maybe share some stuff that you're going through right now and how you feel about the spring coming. It's nice. It really is nice. And I'm very grateful for it.